Greetings and welcome to another episode of Q Points Podcast. I'm DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is J. Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. And Sir Daniel, this is fun. We're about to do something we have never done before.
That's right, J. Ray. We have company, and the thing is, we know that the success of this podcast, of Q Points Podcast, is based solely on community. The success of any podcast is built on community. And we have the pleasure of having a village of people that are just as knowledgeable and just as enthusiastic about speaking about music and things of that nature, just like we are. Yes. And so we've decided to do something a little different. We're trying it out. Our guest is our guinea pig, and that's fine.
Oh, and we couldn't pick a better one because listen,
couldn't pick a better one. And on top of that, he has a built-in fan base. So good for us that we have all the people showing up this evening. A lot of new people, a lot of new faces. And thank you for being here. If you're here for our guest, thank you for showing up for him. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can follow us from here on out. But J. Ray, let them know what we're embarking on this particular episode of Q Points Podcast.
Yeah, so one of the things that we are very excited about is just connecting with folks. And so we, of course, do a lot of topics on Q Points. And what we are doing that's new is what we're calling our Q Points one-on-one. It is when y'all get the opportunity to come on the show and talk to us. So we get the opportunity to talk to you about music, what you love, what you're not so loving, and y'all can even ask us questions. So it's like a super exciting new project that we're excited to launch, and we're excited that our guest has decided to come on board. So we should get into this thing. Let's launch in to our first Q Points one-on-one. Kyriacos is here with us, creative, DJ, and free spirit, and welcome in to Q Points, Kyriacos. What's happening? Out of the chat, onto the screen.
Onto the screen. And if you couldn't tell by the 10-gallon hat, hailing from what? Houston, Texas. Am I right?
Houston.
Absolutely. Yeah. What other city would there be? Like, hello.
So greetings and welcome to Q Points, Kyriacos. Thank you for joining us.
Hey y'all. I feel I feel like I'm in a space with my big cousins right now. You know,
that's what we be trying to do. You are.
You absolutely are. And it's so funny because support is a verb. I say that all the time, right? And I have to say that we talk about our day ones, and Kyriacos is definitely one of our day ones. You know, he's got pieces from the Q Points store. I can't tell you how many text messages I receive from him checking out a show, maybe not live while it's on, but I'll get a text message from him saying, you know, you crazy, right? Or, you know, I'm in here howling. And, you know, he'll send you those messages just to let you know that he is, in fact, watching and enjoying and sharing the content. So, you know, first and foremost, thank you for that. Thank you for being a supporter, an active supporter.
Y'all are welcome. Y'all are welcome. You know, it's my perfect weekend activity while ascending into the clouds.
Yeah. Oh, see,
I use my YouTube subscription very well. Yes. We do pay for YouTube Premium.
And we love that we get the chance to be part of, like, when you're having a moment. You know, we that's what we create the show to do. And one of the things I still remember this. You were traveling, and there was like the Q Points bag. And we got a picture of that bag, and you were just out and about doing, it was holiday stuff. And so it was just really, really dope. So yeah.
Those bags are very durable. Yes.
Good. That's what
absolutely. And I can tell you this from, you know, personal experience. One of the things that Kyriacos and I connected on is our love of vinyl. And so we have been vinyl shopping when he's come here to Atlanta. We've hit up the all the spots, the vinyl spots. And I think, as a matter of fact, you know what, J Ray, I just remembered this. Kyriacos was there at the very first, one of my very first vinyl sets at JB's Record Lounge,
Nice.
with Taste in Music. Yeah, that was one of the very first times he came into town, and he came with a bunch of our friends, and they rated, you know, JB's Record Lounge's selections, and while they were shopping, that was my very first vinyl set at JB's Record Lounge. So we got history. We got history over here. And
do you
so
know I got the Kaytranada record for really cheap that day too?
See, friendship has its
because
benefits.
the retail prices were a bit much elsewhere, but that price was right in JB's. I'm mad I didn't get a chance to stop and go when I came back to Atlanta back in March. Was that March? It was March. But I next time I swing around, I'll be popping through.
Yo, this is bringing up a question now. So for you, Kyriacos, like, I had to rediscover vinyl. Music has always been like part of my life, but of course I moved to CDs decades ago, right? And and especially when I started driving, it was cassettes, then it was like CDs, and then MP3s. And I rediscovered, and I think, Sir Daniel, you were part of kind of this rediscovery of vinyl, which maybe happened like 7 or 8 years ago, where I really started to collect again. For you, when did you discover that, you know, vinyl was important, or was it just always important for your music collection?
So my daddy had this, I would say, a small collection in our living room when we were growing up, and it had like a glass lid on top of it, and it just looked very fancy, and it had the subwoofer, it had the tuner and all that stuff on it, and it was kind of just like, oh, this is like a rite of passage, like. But after a while, pretty much once we got older, he could only turn that stereo system on when he was cleaning the house, because he would always play Magic 102. That's the station here in Houston. So that kind of awakened my curiosity about vinyl, but also the sound quality is infinitely better than digital.
Yeah.
And I don't buy every record on vinyl, but there are certain things where you listen to it, like on Apple Music, and then you just happen to pick it up in the record store, and it just sounds better on vinyl. Yeah. I'm an audiophile, basically.
Yeah.
And so that leads me to this. So the fact that it's your dad and his collection that got you interested in vinyl. Tell us about one of the things I've always noticed about Kyriacos is that his taste runs a lot deeper than, it does not necessarily reflect his age. It runs a lot deeper than his age. And so talk to us about the importance of not just your dad, but your older siblings and how their taste in music influenced you and the things that you listen to, and opening you up to different eras of music.
My brother's probably watching now. But growing up, he would always like listen to chopped and screwed music, which is something that originates here in Houston.
Yep.
So he would always have like little burnt CDs of that, but he would also have like Genuine and Earth, Wind and Fire, and these were just like CDs he would like randomly get from his girlfriend. And so because he had a copy of it, I would make myself a copy of it. So, and this was around the time like file sharing was like a thing, and message boards were a thing. So I was like a teenager just sitting online on message boards, just like discovering stuff all day, really.
Yeah. So, okay, to that point, then that leads us right in then. So growing up, who would you say your favorite artist was? And the question is, who's your favorite artist of the moment and why? So who do you remember being like one of your earliest favorite artists? And then who's your favorite artist of the moment now and why?
It was always Destiny's Child for me as a kid. I grew up in the Y2K age, so everybody was like it was very much boy bands and
you're a TRL
girl
baby.
groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a TRL kid. I was a 106 Park kid too.
Mhm.
What else? Yeah, it was just I grew up in an age where it was like there was Anthony Hamilton, but there was like uh there was always BT Soul playing, so I'd always
Mhm.
just like learn of like the Bobby Browns and the Patti LaBelle's because
Mhm.
actually, funny enough, my first concert was like Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight at the rodeo here in Houston. That was like in 2001. Um, I know.
That's amazing. Like that's a very high bar when you hear them sing because their mics be
Yeah,
on. It's a different
yeah.
experience.
hmm And it was cool because like the rodeo at the time before they built the new stadium here in Houston, it was always they always did the concerts inside the Astrodome. So
Mhm.
the Astrodome really wasn't built for great sound at the
Mhm.
time because it was built more like the '60s.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's how I got hooked to like different types of stuff. And my mom would always keep me. She would always take me to like gospel, like stage plays and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned to like
Mhm.
James Moore, like the
Mhm.
gospel singer. My
Okay.
mom would put me onto a lot of gospel. My dad put me onto a lot of soul, but my brother also introduced me to rap and hip hop
Yeah.
and R&B to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Um, as for my current artists, I have a couple of them, and I need to refer to my notes.
Please, we want to know who
uh,
you helping us out too. Cause listen, I'm an unk now. It be like some people, my cousins be telling me about folks. I'm like, I literally have no idea who that is. Please play them. I be like,
my hugest favorite right now is this guy named El Mean. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm usually always like reposting one of his like posts or him singing. He's from the UK. I think London or somewhere in England, but he has like a really soulful sound that's like reminiscent of Stevie and like D'Angelo, but in a millennial, or I don't know what generation he is, but I'm just saying millennial. But there's like a huge like Stevie and D'Angelo influence in his sound that I like, and it also just sounds very warm for it to be digital, which I like. Um, what else? Flo, another girl group out of the UK. I love them. I saw them like 2 weeks ago here in was 2 or 3 weeks ago here in Houston at the House of Blues, and the mics were on. I didn't ever doubt the mics were like not on, but the mics were hot. They were very, very hot. I love them because they remind me of my childhood with Destiny's Child and girl groups when we had those when those were a thing. um, and then I guess my third favorite would be Gavin Turek. She's like a disco kind of yeah. I love her. I love Gavin. I think she's from LA. Her sound reminds me of like if Tina Marie like leaned into like disco real hard,
that's a
but
great
like on the
analogy.
pop edge. And I enjoy that. I kind of got to know of her from when she was I think she still plays in the band with Mayor Hawthorne and Jake Uno for that band Tuxedo. And she does like backgrounds and stuff for them. I still want to catch a show from them, but they haven't been to Texas. I don't think they've ever been to Texas, but I'm gonna have to travel for that.
Yeah.
But I love Gavin. I love Gavin so much.
So, what I hear a lot of is that you also not only are you taking in your music on the various platforms, digital platforms that we have, but you're an avid, and I do mean avid, concert goer. Like if you follow Kyriacos, you are good. There's going to be a season where there is a Instagram story of him at some show. J Ray, I think the funniest Instagram story I ever saw. I think he already knows what I'm about to say because he's wearing her shirt now. When Janet first did her residency at in Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
clearly he was there at the concert, but I could not hear anything Janet was saying on top of all the screaming
Where?
that Kyriakos was doing, but I couldn't even but I couldn't even be mad at him because I don't know how I would have reacted at seeing Janet
Yeah.
live in person. What is so recently I saw a report and I saw things about a lot of especially the younger people are not afraid to shell out money for concerts and for live experiences. What is your barometer and when it comes to shows? And are you the type that's like, I don't care what it costs, I'm gonna go?
Mhm.
Or are you in a place now where you're like, okay, I'm not going to do that one, but I'm going to do this? Or are you just, I'm just going to whoever I feel like going to when it comes to concerts?
So first of all, I want to say thank you to the Park MGM for their cucumber cooler.
That's what got you
That
screaming.
caused me to act a
Cucumber
fool at a
cooler.
Janet Jackson concert. It's a really great drink. It had like rose petals and all kind of cool stuff in it. Made with gin. That says enough.
Oh, well, there is say
Yeah.
less. Jen will make you
Well,
what?
Yes.
squeal at a Janet concert. Yes.
My brother's watching.
Uh, I so when it comes to concerts for me, I listen to the stuff obviously through like Apple Music or my personal collection a lot, and I love the spontaneity of live music. So I love, for example, I went to go see Trombone Shorty a couple weeks ago with Tank and the Bangers,
Yeah.
and like in the middle of the set, like um what's his name, Manny Fresh popped out just like
I'm here.
randomly. So
Yeah.
I love that,
Hmm.
to just
Yeah.
go and never know who I'm gonna see or that kind of thing. Even when I went to go see Omar back in like January in New York,
Yeah.
I randomly didn't know Marshawn Patterson was gonna be
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
there.
What a
And that
gift.
was a good surprise. So it's just like for me, it's not only is it hearing music played live, but also the spectacle, but also the surprise of you're going to go see your whoever you love to play music or sing music. I think that's what it is. Yeah. But
Mm.
when it comes
Well,
to the pricing of like concerts, I'm sorry.
No.
yeah, go ahead.
Um, for example, I've learned Ticketmaster's trick is they like overprice people on the resale, I guess, so they can make
Mm.
a nice chunk of money before the concert. But if you wait till like maybe like a month, if not like a week before or 2 days before, you can get some really cheap tickets.
Okay.
I kind of tested that theory out last year when I went to go see Madonna, and like we all know Madonna charges like ridiculous prices, like for no matter where you're sitting for a show.
Hmm.
And I got a ticket for like less than $100, and it was a really great seat.
Nice.
Same thing happened like 2 weeks later when I went to go see Missy Elliott here at the Toyota Center. Actually, both of them were at Toyota Center. Um, like it was the same thing. I waited till the day of around like 4 o'clock, and I got a ticket for like less than $100.
Mm.
So I think it's like a game in a way that these promoters and ticket companies are playing. That I mean, the shows probably will sell out,
Yeah.
but it yeah, it's a game. I just think it's an easier way out. I'll just say.
Hmm.
Speaking of the game, like, are you? Well, clearly you are a merch person,
Yeah.
but
Yes,
how
I am.
do you feel like we hear who is it, Little Brother complaining about
Hmm.
how these companies are gouging them, the
The
artists,
artists.
on
Hmm.
everything. They want a piece of everything. When you hear about stuff like that, does it influence, you know, your spending power when you go to see your favorite?
I look at it this way. I know that I don't know everybody's finances, but I try to support, the bartender, but also the merch table, but also a ticket to go see the show.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I listen to the music, but again, I love the live experience, but I also know that they're not really making money on streaming.
Hmm.
So if I have the ability to get like a physical copy of an album, whether that be before I get to the show or if I'm at the show,
Yeah.
um, I try to support.
Hmm. Yeah.
Wow,
And
Jay.
then
I
I know
mean,
like sometimes I'm sorry, and I know sometimes artists do like exclusive merch at their shows. So I never
Hmm.
really know. I just still buy it if
Yeah.
it's good. I will say a lot of people's merch is starting to suck for some reason. I don't know if it's because like companies are taking over, but A lot of the merch is starting to suck.
Well, oh, that's a whole. I think there's probably a reason for that too. Is because when trying to maximize the profit too, there's probably a lot of the same types of things from the same types of companies that a lot of people are doing for the merch. So yeah, you know what I like the type of merch, and I'm curious to know if this is true for you too. I love it if I could get like an exclusive vinyl at a show. Like I have several like back there that like is a vinyl that like, oh, we're only selling these at our shows, and they might have like a special sleeve or something like that. I like stuff like that because that's like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, I can't get this anywhere else.
Sometimes I do buy those. I know for Kali Uchis last album, like the last two, she did like deluxe covers, but she only sold them through her web store.
Mm-hmm.
I generally don't like buying from web stores.
Hmm.
The shipping is starting to be a bit steep.
That's real.
Um, like I want to support, but if I can get something, I'd rather just go ahead and just buy the record from or the merch from a local record shop.
Mm-hmm.
Because here in Houston, we have like a couple of them, but I go to there's one called Serious Sound, and then there's another called Cactus that I go to a lot.
Okay.
Like I prefer Cactus because Cactus always has like really cool like in-store like shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, the day before I saw Flow last month, Kurangban did like a record store day kickoff set
Okay.
inside of Cactus. That was
Yeah.
such a vibe.
Yeah. Okay. This is actually you brought up a couple of things that I think lead into this too, because one of the things you've also expressed is you have a diverse palette, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are watching music evolve and change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, is there anything that you have noticed that's kind of like a trend in the industry
Um,
today?
there's starting to be a lot more incorporation of jazz and hip hop, which I like. Like
Yeah.
they're starting to mix a lot more and collaborations. Like for example, like how Robert Glasper
Mm-hmm.
did the collaboration with Kate Renata a couple years
Mm-hmm.
ago. I have that banner behind me actually.
Yeah.
Uh, that's something I do like because it's adding a musicality that wasn't really present in a lot of the early 2000s like
Mm-hmm.
music. Well, particularly hip hop.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people love K-pop. I don't really get it. That's something
We're talking
We
about
I
that
don't get it.
we are
next week.
truly listen. Take it from Uncle over here. I'm truly trying to understand. Help us understand. We're going to address that in another
Yes.
episode soon. But please go ahead
It
and
to
continue.
me, it's just basically the poor man's version of R&B, and I get that a lot of like R&B
Listen,
artists and writers they're getting more money now. Well, they're getting paid overseas. I get it why they're like crafting these hits for these people, but I want the real thing. I don't want people. I don't like to play the race card, but I don't want people. I don't want to like support people that learned how to be a pop star by going to camp and watching like I don't know, just it just sucks. Like
Yeah.
it's
K-pop,
the whole
J-pop, all of it, y'all
factory
can
of it
keep it.
all.
Yeah,
It's the whole
it feels
factory process of
very.
it. Yeah.
I don't like it, and then the vocals sound just as machiney and cold and hollow. I don't
You'd be
like
like,
that.
well, what did they teach you at this camp? Because this don't even sound hot. Right.
How to steal from black people.
Ooh, baby,
How to
now that
steal
I've
from black
seen
people
Sinners, I have
101.
so many things. Right. I've seen it.
Yes, J
Oh,
Ray has finally seen Sinners, so we
we're
can
going to
talk
do a
about it.
show about it, y'all. We're going to do it now that I've seen it.
I love the juke joint. That was
Yeah.
a great scene.
Yeah.
So, Kyriacos, I want to go back to, I want to revisit your home state, your hometown, and just tell us. We hear a lot about when you're outside of a city, people make a lot of assumptions and about certain cities. I know, God knows, I've heard everything about Atlanta and have seen all the hot takes about Atlanta online. But
Mhm.
as far as Houston and the music scene, what is there anything that is native to Houston? I know you brought up Chopped and Screwed, but is there any musical trends that's native to Houston that the Q Points audience needs to know about? And is there anybody popping in Houston that you think we're going to hear from a lot more from in the future?
There's a guy named Jack Freeman. So I discovered him at this artist. Her name is Maida, like maybe 2 years ago, like in 2023. He opened up for her at House of Blues here in Houston. And this was like maybe a month or two before his album Nina came out, which is actually really good. I don't know what Nina stands for, but that's the name of the album is Nina. But Jack Freeman is really great. I highly recommend him. He's like a really good R&B artist. I think there's some relation with him in like Fun Beast Camp.
Okay.
But he makes really, really great music that I love. There's a song called MVP that I need somebody in Houston to do like a Chopped and Screw remix because that song is so great. It's like it feels like something that your granddaddy would play on like a Saturday morning while shining the Cadillac.
Yes,
that's such a visual. That is a
specific.
Visual.
Yes,
it's really current and it's fresh. And like I could see it being played with like the boots on the ground sound that everybody in Mama loves right now. Like it could easily fit into that groove. I got a playlist of people actually.
You got a playlist? Listen, if you have a playlist, can we share it with our folks? Is it public? Like, can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Apple Music playlist, but I can also add it on Spotify. Okay. There's another guy named Jay Wiley. I think he lives in LA now, but he's from Houston. His music reminds me of like if Frank Ocean gave a damn.
Damn.
Has that ship sailed? Is the general consensus like, okay, Frank, keep it? Like you know.
For me, it has.
Okay.
For me, it has. That ship sailed. I don't know. It just got weird. To quote Nene.
Listen, Dad, those last projects are a decade old now. It's crazy.
Well, so I don't give artists too much grief about taking a long time between releases because we got Black Messiah,
which was amazing. Listen,
yeah,
we needed it when we got it.
I give the people their time, to record, but the singles and stuff that Frank was putting out, it's just like I don't like any of this. So lately, it's crazy enough you mentioned it, or I mentioned it. I have been going back and spinning Channel Orange a lot lately, and I do own his vinyl Endless only because it has Jasmine Sullivan on it. I do own that, yes. So I support. Even though I may not rock with the people sometimes, I still give them their money.
So yeah, we definitely want to share that playlist. Can I ask a quick? So for those of who might be joining, I mean, it's Q Point, so a lot of people may know this. How would you describe Chopped and Screwed to somebody who never heard it before?
Ethereal.
Yeah.
So for me, I would say maybe the closest the mainstream probably could get to that outside of Victoria Monet using I Look Good and all that stuff.
Right.
I would say the closest person that probably touched on it to give it like a mainstream feel was Solange with When I Get Home. That's how I feel about Chopped and Screwed. It's like you either get it or you don't. Either way, life still goes on. People still gonna love it.
Yeah.
And that's what Chopped and Screwed is for me. And that's also how I feel about When I Get Home. So
ethereal. Okay. I love that. Yeah,
because like if you like randomly like search like on Spotify or Apple Music, some people they probably illegally uploaded it, but there's some Chopped and Screw gospel, Chopped and Screw like
I want that gospel. I want that.
Yeah, or you could just search on YouTube. YouTube has a lot of stuff too.
Raise up them hands. We raising up them hands. Rolling on them hands.
See, that's high already, Sir Daniel. Like,
see?
And honestly, if you just wanted to like get like something that's like mainstream, the Chop Stars, which is like a collective of DJs here in Houston that do chop music, they have an app called Chop Not Slop. They also broadcast on Sirius XM, I think on Drake's channel. They have some kind of show there. You can also check it out there. Like Chop and Screw music is everywhere.
Okay.
But I say definitely download the Chop Not Slop app. Because I know at one point the way I discovered it was because they chopped and screwed some lunches when I get home,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm actually scrolling now. They have like a bunch of different mixtapes. Like they even have Gorilla stuff in there right now, and like Kendrick Lamar, like anything that you could think is like mainstream
Mm-hmm.
or something that's like a bit underground. You can just download the Chop Not Slop. It's literally called Chop Not Slop.
That's dope.
And real quick, you just brought up Drake's name. So now in that whole
I
debacle
wasn't gonna
last
touch it.
summer, the whole debacle last summer, one of the things that came up, so like here in Atlanta, there were shots about Drake coming here to Atlanta for clout. And
Mhm.
there were shots about Drake being in Houston for clout as well. As a Houstonian, as a Houston
Mhm.
hottie, do you agree with that statement?
Um, I just want to put something out on the table for the people. Drake owns property in Katy. Katy is not Houston. Katy is the burbs of Houston. Um,
Let the people
I
know.
mean, he probably at one point he used to hang out at V Live on Richmond, like the strip club before it got shot up. I think he shot a video there, and I know that one time when I was working in the Galleria, he was shooting that one video at Cheesecake Factory in Galleria, but I don't really. Drake fell off for me after Nothing Was the Same, and I'll just leave it at that. He's not a
Oof.
Houstonian.
Mm.
He's a grifter.
He's a
He's a
grifter. He's a grifter. Oh, okay. So, Kyriacos, we do want to give you time to ask us anything that you want to ask us, whatever that might be. But before we do that, so this is before when we were setting up, you had that Maxwell album right over your head. What's your favorite Maxwell album? I'm really curious.
Embryo.
That's my favorite. I knew that we was friends. Like that's my favorite Maxwell record, and I will die on that hill. Embry is my favorite too.
I will pull it out, but it's a little low behind me right now, unfortunately.
Thank you, Kyriacos.
I have everything
Thank
alphabetized
you.
back here.
I know Kyriacos was going to say that, but I will die on the hill that Maxwell's Embry is my favorite Maxwell record. It's just an interesting.
I have a reason why though, and I posted about it actually on Blue Sky like yesterday or the day before yesterday. Everything in the mainstream sounds like Embryo now. Like speaking of which, Drake, like a lot of chords and production style, Drake's people definitely took from Maxwell's Embryo. Like even the vibey singers that everybody loves, that's Embryo.
And and Leave It to Project that came out in what 98?
98.
Yeah, 98.
I will say, and so I have my favorite cuts on that album also. But I will say the biggest thing I took away from that album was was getting my hair braided like that. I had it on the cover,
and then there was a lot of swimming. And
I had the bust down in the middle with the tiny plaits,
right.
and then the rest flowing out. Maxwell.
Listen, you should have been sponsored by Shea Moisture.
I'm telling you, not only is Maxwell a vocal giant and just a superstar in that aspect, but he is a hair icon. He is a hair influencer. But shout out to everybody in the chat. We see JT, we see K, Gil. Ain't seen Gil in a second. Thank you for joining us. Also here on Instagram, we got Uncle Kip in the chat, Toujours Fresh, Mike, music, eclectic music vibes, who is killing the vinyl game. I thought I was doing something, but he's really doing it. But now, as J Ray said, Kyriacos, now's the time for, as a Q Points listener, Q Points supporter, now's your chance to put us in the hot seat or just, pick our brains and ask us anything that you have on your heart right now.
So when are y'all gonna like launch y'all's like lecture course to these universities? Because y'all give away a lot of vital information that is well produced, and yeah, y'all need. That wasn't a question. That was more like a demand. Okay. But when are y'all doing that?
It's funny. That's not the first time we've heard that. It's not the first time we've heard that. And when we participate in panels and do live events,
Mhm.
that's something that is said to us and is dropped in our spirits quite often. So I don't know. It's like, how do we get on? But no, we've talked about this, J. Ray,
We have.
about getting on somebody's campus, especially like here
Yeah.
in Atlanta. There's, we got the whole AUC,
Yeah.
and in Pennsylvania and in Philly, there's plenty of schools there as
Listen,
well.
Questlove can't be the only one doing lectures.
You know, real talk. And I mean, just using that as a model, it's so funny because I think the last time we had this conversation, we had seen Quest do something and we were like, this, you know what I mean? It was just like, and I'm sure. So I call Sir Daniel when I have a thing and he'll text me when he has a thing. So I'm sure I called because I saw Quest do something. But thank you for that. That is something that we absolutely have the capacity to do and we must do. So you may not know this, Kyriacos, but this also brings up when we ended up in that high school class with Marcus, who I talked to last weekend, actually, was sharing Q points with his class. And they had to do like a report on Q points, which was like crazy to me. He couldn't share the report, but he could share the reports, but it was dope knowing that happened. So thank you for that. We need to make that happen. 2026, Q Point special lecturers, insert university here,
Absolutely.
doing some
And we
black
don't
music.
need excuses. We don't need excuses about DEI hires either.
We don't need no excuses about DEI
At all.
hires.
So if
Even if we
anybody is
have to,
connected and plugged into the university system, please reach out, bring us in. We'll fly. We're not afraid of flying. We'll come in and we'll talk. Seriously,
We'll fly to educate.
we can get y'all a rider made up too. Listen, they can fly y'all out.
Yep.
Y'all could be flued out.
I'm here for it. So talking about just a couple things that have happened over the past week. Of course, we're still we're still getting over the Met Gala on Monday night. Please check out the latest
Hot
episode
show.
of Q Points where J. Ray and I chop it up about our fave music industry dandies, and we do what we like to do. We give a list. We come up with our own list of who we feel like are the most impactful or the dandiest of the dandies in the music industry over the decades, and we talk about that. But Kyriacos, when it comes to the idea of dandyism and just expressing oneself through dress, off the top of your head, who do you feel like fits that the most? It doesn't have to be anybody that was there at the gala that night, but when you think of somebody who just has impeccable style, who comes to your mind, and who do you give it up to?
So when I saw Zendaya's outfit, I know everybody thought I don't know if it was said that she took inspiration from Diana Ross for her outfit, but it made me think of Tina Turner. There's like this one picture of Tina Turner. If you like Googled it, and it's like Tina Turner in a suit. It's like a white suit, and the hat shape. As soon as I saw Zendaya, I thought that was like a nod to Tina Turner, but it could also be seen as Diana Ross too.
Yes.
Who else? I also thought about Janet in the All Right video.
Yeah.
The yellow suit.
Yep.
And even like as
Yes.
she went on tour over the years, she's like changed the silhouette of it, but it's still kind of dandy, very zoot suit. I didn't see a lot of zoot suits. I didn't like that. I want to say the only person that wore a zoot suit was Willie Chavarria, which is a designer. I figured it would be a couple more of those somewhere sprinkled in, but I guess not.
Yeah, we talked about that. So the reason what sparked our conversation too was a shout out to Charles Stevens from CMP, but he had said, "Hey, are y'all going to talk about this?" Because he didn't see a lot of references to the time as a band who, of course, did the zoot suits and all of that, and felt like, oh, people would definitely somebody would channel Morris Day, and didn't really see that. So what I think is interesting though, and this is a question for both of y'all, I'm wondering if maybe the Met Gala will open up folks dressing up a little more. I do think so. We grew. I can speak for myself. I think me and Sir Daniel in that generation grew up where we were kind of dressing down. Like we grew up in the we're dressing down more generation, but our
Mm-hmm.
parents dressed up for everything,
Maybe.
right? If they was going to somebody down the street house that they see every day, but they was having a party, they was gonna be fly going down there. And I'm like, y'all doing all of that? You just saw them yesterday. I think we might. Do you think we'll get back to that?
I think we are, but I could say that's happened for me, at least going to the Renaissance concert 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed since I went to that show, like I've dressed up a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which is kind of cool, I guess. I realized at some point, like during the pandemic, or as the people say, as it was ending, I don't think it ever ended.
Mm-hmm.
I realized I can't do t-shirt and sweats everywhere in life. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay to put a cowboy hat on. It's okay to put your accessories on, put your boots on,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can say
Absolutely.
that shifted for me. I can't
Yeah.
speak for everybody else, but I definitely felt that for sure.
Shout out to Kipper Jones
He just
and the
yes.
R&B circus. Kipper, we definitely talked about you
Yep.
off camera, and just like how Kipper has done the same thing. Kipper would don a top hat.
Yep.
He might put on some tails.
Yep.
You just never know with Kipper. So we love that about Kipper and his performance. But I absolutely want that for us. I would love to see us get, people get dolled up when they go
Yes.
out.
Mm-hmm.
And because what I think will happen is when you put the effort into the fit, as the kids say, you have a completely different energy when you go
Yep.
out.
Yeah.
If you took time to get fly, the less likely you are to be involved in any kind of drama.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see more people dancing, and
Yes.
I think
I missed that.
maybe there'll be more people doing two-stepping with each other a lot
Yeah.
more, grabbing somebody by the hand and twirling them around.
Yeah.
A little Studio 54 energy with the disco energy, because I do see that coming back a lot. Shout out to Jeremy Avalon and High Key
Mm-hmm.
Disco, where the J-Ray, the kids are all right. The kids love them some disco. They are really getting into the archives and feeling it out. So I'm very excited about that, and hoping that also manifests in the way that we dress, and we put a little effort into spiffing ourselves up and feeling good, because hopefully that'll translate into other areas of our lives, and that will affect everybody. That will affect us as a community, and we start feeling better. Before we wrap this up, we have Kyriacos here, who is an avid concert goer. How do you feel about people making such a big deal about seats and arenas not being as full as, say, the last tour? And of course, I'm talking about the Cowboy Carter Chitlin circuit that's going around, that's on tour now.
It's called the
And
Chitlin Circuit, Kyriacos. That's what she called it.
yeah, but
I
people
will be
are
in attendance.
clearly. So are people just making people just like looking for stuff to talk about? Because it's a whole lot of nothing. It's a nothing sandwich, isn't it? About seats not
It
being
happens
filled.
every tour. I'll just say that.
Okay.
Okay.
But it doesn't take away from a person's pedigree, right? It doesn't take away from the performance. It doesn't take away from any of that stuff.
After all, you're there for a show. Why are you worried about seats that are empty?
And baby, and being in Kyriacos, we talked about this as we came on. If I went to a show and it wasn't real full, I'd be like, oh bitch, I can spread out. All right, let's get it.
I did that at the Missy
dance.
show.
I
like,
can dance in the aisles. I got room.
I did that at the Missy show last year and the Madonna show. Like, there were a bunch of empty seats, but I didn't really care. Like, they already got their money. Like, I paid my money. Like, I'm here for a show. Why do I need to worry about empty seats? There's bigger, more important stuff going on in the world, like genocide. Like, for one,
Yes.
like,
Right.
find something else to talk about.
the Constitution is being attacked daily. Like our civil rights are
We're
on the
losing
line.
rights.
We're
and You're
losing.
worried about seats.
Yeah.
Tell us, look, Kyriacos is preaching up on this show this evening here.
I have an
Absolutely.
opinion sometimes. Not always.
Well, we appreciate you stopping by Q Points and popping up on our screen and just giving us a peek into your musical tastes and just continuing to be a support and just a part of our community and part of our family. And thank you, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And please, Mr. DJ, wait, let me get the whole thing. It's creative DJ and free spirit.
Yes.
Y'all, I have to say I finally have a DJ child. And I consider Kyriacos, to be my DJ child. He may or may not agree, but I consider him to be my DJ child. But please let everybody know how they can follow you. Tell them about your journey as a mixologist and where they can hear your mixes.
Oh, well, first of all, thanks y'all for having me. I did not expect to be here. It was a welcome surprise. Y'all can find me on Blue Sky, and SoundCloud is Kyriacos, the number 2, and the letter U. You can always find me at Instagram as well at Kyriacos.tx. But pretty much all my mixes that I work on, I have a bunch of them that I have not published that, they may just end up on the internet sometime one day. But all of those can be found on SoundCloud. I eventually want to start working some of the local parties like Soul Control, and there's another one here. There's like so many dance parties that happen in Houston now, but eventually that's the goal. But for now, I'm just your local bedroom DJ. I also make really great playlists, and you'll have a link somewhere on this episode to my Apple Music or my Spotify and SoundCloud. So I'm everywhere that you can possibly think music can be, including your local neighborhood concert in a random city or even in Houston.
Absolutely.
So if you
real quick,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, real quick. What have you found out about yourself on your DJ journey?
I like the classics a lot more than the new music. So that's something that I don't really like to play. I don't like TikTok mixes and all that stuff. You're not gonna hear a random soundbite from Designing Women in the middle of my sets.
Are there people doing that now?
Is that a thing?
I'm alluding to an episode of RuPaul where they had of a drag race where they had to like do a monologue over a scene from Designing Women.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you're not gonna find that. You're not gonna find sound. You're not gonna find TikTok songs and mixes. You're gonna find stuff that has soul, which is I think what a lot of DJs are missing because everything sounds so hollow and boring, and everybody wants to again be a TikTok DJ. I love y'all. I listen to y'all, but I don't want to hear that on my stuff. I'm a child of Prince, unfortunately. So,
listen.
If I don't hear what I want, I go make it.
Yes. That's inspiration. To that point, when did you start your DJ journey? Like, when did you figure out like, yo, this is something I want to try? How long you?
So I asked Sir Daniel like 2 years ago what I needed to get, but I didn't really start until the beginning of this year.
Nice.
I had to clean house and, get some things together personally, and then I was able to focus.
Yeah.
And I use it as like a really cool method to like keep my mind stimulated after my therapy sessions every week. So it's something fun to do.
Yeah.
I think if people stop going into things trying to collect a bag, it'll be a lot more fun and fulfilling. And that's what I see for me. That's why I don't want to get paid for. Well, I don't say I don't want to get paid, but
I'm going to say
just for right now, for what I'm doing in my own personal fun and joy.
Yes.
Y'all ain't got to pay me for it. Just listen to
it. So to that point, Peanut Butter and Jeffy, shout out on Instagram, just said, "Oh, and we need to be blessed with a set. I need to hear something. So there you go.
It's all in my Instagram bio. Tap the link.
There we go. All right. Instagram bio, tap the link. Yo, Kyriacos, thank you so much for being willing to be here with us as we try this brand new thing that now y'all got a high bar. Like, this is a high bar.
Set the bar high, y'all.
You really set the bar high for folks coming through. Come with it. But thank you so much for being here. And for everybody who is tuning in, if you can see our faces and hear our voices, hit the subscribe button wherever you are. Share the show with your friends, family, colleagues, because if you love Q Points, chances are they will love Q Points as well. Visit our website at qpoints.com. You can listen to all of the archive of the Q Points episodes and do some other fun stuff, like check out Q Points magazine at magazine.qpoints.com. And you can shop our store at store.qpoints.com. It keeps these fancy, colorful lights and things that we have going on around here. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
That's right. What do I say every week? In this life, you have a choice. You can either pick up the needle or you can let the record play. I'm DJ Sir Daniel.
My name is J Ray, y'all. That's Kyriacos.
Yes, I'm Kyriacos.
Podcast, dropping the needle on Black music history. We will see you on the next go round. Peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all. Have a good one.